Hello, this is Darren Kittleson, and I wanted to just share a story today that I heard from one of my real estate agents in a course I was teaching. And I think it's important that in the markets that we're working in today, that is, in many cases, we're in an incredibly strong seller's market where offers are coming in even before the properties are being shown in some examples, and we're getting as many as 10, 15, 20 offers on a single listing. And I think what happens when the market gets like that is, as real estate professionals, sometimes we tend to get a little lazy. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the story I heard today was from one of my newer agents, and in his first year in the business, he's actually closing a tremendous amount of business, and he's a really smart guy. So, Kevin, you know who you are. That's what I'm talking about. It's a story you shared with us today in the Ignite course. And here's what he talked about. He had a new listing that's been on the market for just 4 days. He got an offer almost immediately that was low. In fact, it was way below asking price. And through negotiation, the buyer and seller got close to agreement. In fact, it got to the point where the seller said, "It's less than what I was expecting, yet it's still okay for me. I'll accept this last counter." And our agent Kevin said, "You know what? I'm going to send the paperwork over to you. Don't sign it yet." And what he did is he reached back out to those agents who had showings scheduled in the next day or two to let them know that they were negotiating an offer. And if the buyer wanted to see the home, he would do his best to get him in there and see if there might be multiple offers. Now, remember, the client in this case is our seller. So Kevin was doing what was best for his client. So one of the agents he spoke with did move up their showing. They showed it last night, drafted an offer, and the offer came in actually over asking price with all the terms and conditions really acceptable to the seller. And so in essence, it was a difference, quite frankly, of about $8,000 from what the seller was going to accept with the first offer to what the second offer that came in based on Kevin's efforts was. Now, why do I share that? Well, in this market, like any market, our opportunity to really, quote unquote, earn our commission is in doing the right thing for our sellers or our buyers, depending on which one is our client, and putting that extra effort in. Really demonstrating that we're a professional. In this case, I would assert that our agent certainly did that, did what was really best for his client, that our client, that seller, and in essence is helping that seller net an additional $8,000. That's the kind of stuff I want you to start thinking about in this market. Now, is it great to take a listing and get it sell right and get it sold right away? Absolutely. Yet, are you doing the best you can for every one of your sellers in each of those examples? And if you're being a little lazy, step it up. What's the upshot of that? Well, here's the thing I can tell you. I'm certain that that seller is a huge fan of Kevin's. In fact, I'm certain that that seller, with maybe a little bit of coaching from Kevin, will probably get some additional repeat and referral business for his business just because he did that little extra effort. And that's really great customer service, and that's doing what's best for our client. So hopefully you got a little bit from this. Maybe it sparked an idea for you, and you're not going to be if one of those agents that just takes the easy route and doesn't do really the best thing you possibly can for your client, whether that's your buyer or your seller. So thanks for giving me 3 minutes of this. Just let me rant and rave a little bit. Every time I hear these stories, though, I do want to share them because I think as we increase our skill set and our willingness to do what's best for our clients, the better our industry gets. I'll get off my soapbox now. Have an awesome day. One last thing, I just wanted to say I'm so proud to be in business with great agents like Kevin. That's one of the things that just gives me so much energy is that we've got these wonderful people doing business at the highest level for their clients. And that's just such an honor to have people like that in our organization. So, Kevin, if you ever watch this, I just want to say thank you for being awesome. And for everyone else that's in our organization, it's such an honor to come to work with you each and every day. Thanks again for giving me a couple minutes. Darren Kittleson here, and that's all.